Alrighty then. Welcome to Trading with Meatball, guys. And yes, you can trade stocks. And yes, my account's up like 248% or 250% in the last 8 or 9 days. And some of you guys have a car payment that's bigger than my account. I'm just an old man that went through a divorce and I used to be a stockbroker. So I'm sharing my knowledge with people because I got tired of the scammers and the millionaire in the black t-shirt with the muscles and the Rolex asking you for Bitcoin at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's a scam. I paid thousands of dollars to trade with those guys and I paid the bribe to get into the inner circle. And it's a Ponzi scheme. There is no inner circle. The guy promised 12 grand in 4 days, and I gave him a few $100s worth of Bitcoin. Guess what happened 4 days later? He's still pressuring me for more Bitcoin. There was no $12,000. There's no inner circle, and there's no secrets, guys. Okay. The secret is called waiting. I just saved you $1,600 for his boot camp. Okay. The secret is called waiting. Wait for good setups like the one on your screen. That's Tesla when she took a dip at the open. And we draw lines on charts. We encourage you to draw lines on charts. Okay. And so I tell you how I do this, and then you steal my knowledge. And we have a free Discord, and you don't have to come there. I just told you, and it's not the takeaway. I'm just saying I have a handful of guys, the Bad News Bears, and that's all I wanted was a handful of guys to trade with. So I have someone to talk to and share charts with during the day because waiting is the hardest part. Okay. And so I have guys I can hang out with and wait now. And there's no pressure and nobody's selling us nothing and nobody's selling you nothing, but you can join us if you want to. And so here's the flag on the coin. And I put this on Twitter when it was $77 and she went to the moon. Not a single like was given. And guys, here's our Twitter. And I gave him Bitcoin at 43 when it was going up to 44. Not a single like was given. And I told everybody at 50 grand, I don't want to see all the rocket ship emojis today. If someone posts that, ask them why they didn't tell you before it ran. And the reason is because 99% of people on Twitter, they're experts of taking credit for shit after it happens. Okay. And here's my Twitter. I don't put the bagger setups on there anymore, but I do still give back to the community. I'm sharing my 15-minute fib and I'm telling somebody to pat himself on the back, whoever gave me this twist. And I thank people all the time for the good setups. I have smart people I talk to over here, and I exchange ideas. And this gentleman and I, he's smart. He has good charts, and so he and I are trading charts this morning, and we're having a conversation. And there's other people out there that know how to make money, and you don't have to pay a bribe to get into their inner circle. Just because a guy doesn't have a Rolex, that doesn't mean he doesn't know how to do this. Okay, and the guys with the Lamborghinis, half of them don't own that car. It's a lease. And they have a corporation or an LLC that's making payments on that, and they write it off as a business expense. How do I know that? Because I was a manager at the IRS, and the guy admits it in an interview he does with another millionaire. Those millionaire quote unquote experts are interviewing each other. It's a circle of friends interviewing each other. And one of them is a crypto scammer. He got into their circle and he's preying upon all their followers, and he got kicked off Twitter or yeah, kicked off Twitter. Four different accounts. Keeps getting banned. So now he's on TikTok. So if somebody has one of those videos saying, that he's the millionaire and he made $1 million today, type into the comments and ask him, have you ever asked anybody for Bitcoin at 3 a.m. Or have you ever been notified by your followers that they're being preyed upon by your buddy who asked for Bitcoin? It's a circle of friends, guys, and you're not in it. Okay. And so I'm telling everybody what I did today, and I'm not trading anymore because I'm not giving them back this money. Okay. When you're green and you're having a good day, and you can see why I took this trade, the candlesticks are coming up out of my zone. So learn how to read candlesticks and draw your own zones. And that's what we teach here. I don't even teach it, I'm just sharing my knowledge. But you can steal my knowledge and put it in your toolbox, okay? AMAT is my number one pick right now. I know you guys come here for that. The calls are cheap to go out to next Friday and no zero DTEs, right? So I like that. I like buying stuff that doesn't expire today. I will. I just, you don't want to do that all the time, right? Okay, and there's me thanking people again. I like to give respect. Shout out to Ripster. He says, well done. Ripster's a good teacher. And Ripster has a system, and he has a school or a Discord or whatever, okay? But I study his stuff. It works. He's a good teacher. And so there are good Discords out there. They're not all a ripoff. And shout out to some of my followers, Superior Moshi and Higby. Trader Austin used to be Darth Vader, or Darth Trader, I'm sorry. He was one of my first teachers. But this is the kind of stuff we give you. It's a classic setup. I'm telling you why I took the trade. It's not just a rocket ship emoji. I'm telling you why I went into the trade because it was going above the 20-day moving average on a 5-minute chart and it broke over the previous high of the morning. Okay. So you can do this, guys. And there's smart people out there like this gentleman, and he's sharing stuff with me, and I share it with you. And I don't know geometry, but I'm talking to a smart lady on Twitter. She draws these butterflies. So I was looking at those. You don't have to make it so complicated, guys. I mean, here's our SPY, and let's look at a 15-minute. Okay. And we draw lines and we draw zones, and I did a fib, but you don't have to do fibs, you don't have to. No, here's the Tesla, and we draw zones. And if you zoom out to the 1 hour, you can see the zones better. Okay. And so I had a zone drawn there because it has resistance or chop. And if you zoom out, then you can draw your own lines. But I draw zones on the 15-minute and the 1 hour, and you can too. And so when we're trading this thing and it comes down, and it has these candlesticks that stop and it reverses at the top of my zone, and it did it 3 times yesterday. And these lines are lines that I drew, and we have videos about how we draw lines and why we draw lines. But when it reacts at one of my lines or one of my zones, it gives me more confidence to go in. It's just another tool in the toolbox. But if you just learn how to draw lines and draw zones and read candlesticks, that's enough to get started so that you're not guessing and you don't have to pay the bribe to get into the inner circle. The secret's called waiting, guys, and you can do this. And oh wait, I got something for the guru who says you can't do this, right? Who says you can't do this, guys? And yes, you can do this. And yes, we share the whole screen. We just don't care. Have a good weekend, guys.